want.
Free Britney!
With supporters outside, Britney Spears spoke to a court for the first time publicly about her conservatorship, making bombshell statements about the rare arrangement under which her father, Jamie Spears, legally controls much of her life.
Conservatorship has got to go! Hey, hey!
The singer told the court she wants her life back, wants to end the conservatorship, and that she didn't know she could petition the conservatorship to end. Spears compared the situation to sex trafficking and said she's not here to be anyone's slave. The conservatorship began in 2008 when there were concerns over her mental health. A recent New York Times investigation found that Spears expressed serious opposition to the arrangement years ago, saying that it restricted everything from whom she dated to the color of her kitchen cabinets.
So it's really rare that someone like Britney Spears, who's been able to actively perform and make millions of dollars, would be under a conservatorship.
Lilia Luciano, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, business and entertainment attorney Seth Berenzweig is with us now to break this all down. Seth, thank you so much for joining us. I think, a lot of people would have not have really heard of a conservatorship until kind of tuning into this whole Free Britney thing. So can you first off just explain what a conservatorship is, guardianship? I suppose they're very similar, if not the same thing. And why is Spears still in one?
Well, under California law, which is similar to many state laws in the United States, a conservatorship is essentially a court-appointed guardianship. And in this instance, it applies really in two realms: a conservatorship over the person and also a conservatorship over that person's financial life. Over their personal life, it's extremely rare for something like that to apply to a grown adult. And it's really more commonly applied in a financial situation. It should be noted that this is a very unusual case for a number of reasons. Britney Spears is about to turn 40. This has been a conservatorship that has been in effect for about 13 years. So it's very unusual in this kind of a circumstance for this kind of a court-appointed process to apply. It usually is used for someone who has a permanent mental disability or someone who was elderly. Obviously, none of those scenarios apply here. And as we heard in the emotional testimony yesterday, she wants this to end as soon as possible.
Can you talk a little bit more about some of her testimony that kind of surprised you, because you kind of know about these things? And you mentioned that typically, it focuses on the financial domain, which is, you can expect that. But then we heard all this other stuff about, her ability to have kids or who she wanted to date. What kind of really surprised you?
Well, her testimony yesterday to the judge was really stunning. It appears that there has been a turning point recently because she retained a new attorney. And certainly she's being very well represented right now. I found the most stunning part of her testimony to relate to not only how much of her personal life has been micromanaged, but even the extent to which there's been medical intrusions into her life. She's being forced into taking a medication regimen that she doesn't like. She's being forced to stay on a certain method of birth control that she doesn't want to do. And it's really stunning to see that there's no good reason why a court should use its process to apply this sort of a situation upon her personally. And from a financial situation, it really is stunning to me that her father even has any remote role in this. There's no indication that he has any more business savvy or common sense than she does. Her estate is worth over $60 million. She's much more successful than he is. And this has been going on for 13 years. So she really wants to get this done. Legally, what happens next in the process is that the court has ordered that the next step of the process be sealed. I think that's a good indication for her because there'll be a receipt of personal medical information. And I wouldn't be surprised if this conservatorship is terminated later this year. There's really no basis for it, and it appears to be quite abusive.
Just really quickly, it seems like it's a lot easier to get into a conservatorship than it is to get out of it. Is that the case?
I think that's generally correct. In a situation like this, it's very unusual for a conservatorship to go on for well over a decade, and there is certain kind of inertia that's applied to that. She's really just trying to get herself freed from this court-imposed process. Her lawyer's doing a good job. If she can back up most of what she's saying, I think that she's going to have a likelihood of success, and she may be free, certainly from the individual aspect, if not from the financial aspect. She has no relationship with her father. Her father's been divorced from her mother for over 20 years. So I think there are going to be some really big changes ahead, and this will be really a learning step for people to see how this kind of a process can be used, unfortunately, in a potentially abusive manner.
Yeah. Seth Berenzweig, thank you so much.